Welcome back to Dog Days Dice. Something cool today. Out of the park baseball. Definitely, probably one of my not my first, but one of my first baseball sim games. And I think I came on board with Out of the Park 8, which was a while back. I want to think that was the first year I bought the game, and I don't think I've ever missed a year where I didn't buy the game. There's been years where I bought it later on. This year I was one of the pre-release, bought it the day that it came out. You know what? I have ventured into other baseball sims and love a lot of different games, but Out of the Park is pretty great. It is so fun. I know we constantly call this game the sandbox of baseball sims, that you can just do anything that you want, and you really can. And sometimes I'll just be up at night thinking, wow, let me try this, let me try that. The historical play is really fun and really good. I love being able just to jump into like a historical season. It I it's not perfect for as played, which I do a lot with other games, mainly because of the 25 man rosters. This has always been my, if there is nitpick with Out of the Park, and there's not many, is that the 25 man rosters are not accurate, which I'm sure is hard to do for that many seasons. I don't even know how they go about that. But the transactions are accurate, right? So as far as injuries and trades, those are pretty good for the most part. You still find some mistakes here and there. But you're always kind of dealing with issues where the players aren't up to date as far as the 25 man rosters for that day. So that kind of brings some of the realism out. That's why I think with PC replay, if you're doing more of a true replay, PC replay, Action PC, and Strat Max are great games for that. Excuse me, but Out of the Park is still a lot of fun, and I still do some replay mode out here. I think it's great for default mode where, um, the and those modes are not supposed to be accurate with 25 man rosters, but the players still can play for their regular performance. It's just fun just starting random things when you just something comes to your head, what ifs, or just taking over as a GM for a team. It's obviously great for current season too. I love that. I got a few different projects going on with that right now. Main one I'm using is my favorite team, the Braves. And with this game, I don't even really get into the GM mode much. I just like playing. I like just starting a game, and just kind of plugging in and playing right away. But the day what I want to show is just this great start that I really never got too involved with until this year. And it's kind of fun. What I'm doing is just the live start mode. What I like to do is every day I just download the live start file, and it kind of one keeps me informed of what happened yesterday in Major League Baseball. And if I hear like a really good pitching matchup going on today, or if I hear a certain thing that's going to happen today in the day's schedule, it's kind of fun to play that game out, and it's usually pretty accurate um, of what's supposed to happen today. And I'll show you here in a second. Like everything else, live start is not perfect. Sometimes guys will be injured um, on the IL when they're not really in real life. It's not completely 100% accurate. I don't know how you could be. I can't believe they can do this the way they do, where you can just download where you are today. And the day is May 6th if you're watching this. So I'm going to show you here in a second, but it's still pretty good. And I don't know if I could use this for like a long project, but just for like, hey, let's just see what games are today. Let me play one or two out, just something more fun. And I can even delete this the next day. It's a lot of fun. And not only for Major League Baseball, right? But you also have the KBO, which is kind of cool. I was just browsing this. Here's the current KBO standings. You know, what are some of these players on these teams? It's kind of fun to see. I think these are accurate too. I thought maybe they got in trouble with if they were not from South Korea, if they could use it or not, but they must be because it has their stats from the day. So kind of fun to see those players. Might be fun just to dive in and pick up a KBO team of where they're currently at. It also will give you current standings in AAA, which is just so cool, in all minor leagues. Let's see how my Stripers are doing for the Braves. There's their current stats. Look, it has Hashan Kim, which is neat. Shows what he's doing. He should be called up from rehab here pretty soon. It's just so neat. I mean, this is just stuff that is currently going on. Wow. You could just dive in and play some AAA baseball if you're really into that too. Pretty cool. Sounds are the other team that I like to follow in the minor leagues. Just so neat. But the big draw, of course, is Major League Baseball. This is up to date to today's date, May 6th. So you have all your current stats, and I did this yesterday. And like for example, Rafael Iglesias, he was yesterday's roster. He was out for the whole year, which was completely inaccurate. He came back yesterday. The Braves won in 3-2 against the Mariners, and he actually got the save. So sometimes you have stuff like that. Again, I don't know if you could really use this for long projects, but it's just fun to just download, jump in, and play. And this morning I heard that Paul Skeens was pitching. I always listen to a podcast in the morning that gives like it's a great podcast if you don't do it. I think it's called Major League Baseball Recap. MLB actually produces it, so search it if you like podcasts, and it just gives you 10 minutes of what happened the day before in baseball. It is a great way just to keep in touch of what's going on with baseball right now. It's 10 minutes. It's kind of fun. The hosts are really good, and by the time it's over, you're like, oh, I know exactly what's going on. And they always end the day with a preview of what's going to happen that current day of the podcast. So the day they were actually talking about Paul Skeens pitching tonight, and I said, oh, that's kind of cool. Always fun to have a Skeens game. And here's the other games. And a lot of these pitching matchups were pretty accurate of what's really going to happen tonight. Most of them will be, at least what I saw yesterday. So really cool. And I saw Skeens was pitching. I said, man, I want to play that Skeens game. And they are traveling to Arizona. Pittsburgh's been a fun team this year. Honestly, the whole NL Central has been great to watch. Every team is over 500. Pittsburgh's in last place at 19 and 17. So pretty impressive. Let's dive into this and take a look here. And another great thing that I did this year was I downloaded this year's active player pictures. So you have that in the game. And again, here's the up-to-date stats of all these players, which is really cool. So really neat. Skeens after that disastrous opening day start. His ERA is the 2.91 now. Another great thing about this is just kind of keeps you more informed. This is how players are currently doing. Like I couldn't tell you how the Diamondbacks were hitting the ball right now, top of my head. But this gives you an idea of how every player is actually currently playing. So a lot of fun. Now, for me, with Out of the Park, I'm going to play this game next. I am still probably in minority. I play Classic 2D View. My computer's old. I need to get a new computer regardless. It just doesn't play the 3D that great. But I have just always been a very classic 2D guy. Um, I just enjoy the speed of it. I like the 3D and Out of the Park, but I feel like it's just too slow for me. And I feel like I still get just so much more out of the Classic 2D with the pacing, the strategy of it. Just me personally. So, and I think these pictures are still so great. I'm so glad they still do the 2D mode, and I'm curious how many people still play it. So, we're gonna try it away. I'm gonna be the Pirates here against old Braves legend Mike Soroka, 1 year wonder. And it's nice to see him have somewhat of a bounce back year. I didn't realize his ERA kind of peaked up a little bit, but we will play this game here. Connor Griffin is gonna lead off. The red hot rookie. And I need to check. I wonder if they do extensions. We'll have to check that out here in a second after the game. I'm curious if the Live Start does that. And we will play a quick game of Out of the Park here on the live mode. And that's a base hit for Griffin. Let's see if he has 7 stolen bases on the year. And I think these stats are updated, or these ratings are updated with how the players are currently doing. I think. Because I don't think if you started a new game, Ryan Hurt's ratings would be that good, but maybe they are. I don't know. So he did steal that. We're going to get a ground out to Vargas, who will throw him out the first. O'Neill Cruz up next. Has 9 home runs on the year already. This, I mean, it's so cool. You just get an update on all the stats of where players are currently at. Spencer Horwitz next. 362 on base with runners on first and second. He will strike out. And next is Marcell Osuna, who I knew was off to a slow start, but I didn't think I realized this bad. He is just always such a streaky hitter. I do like him in the Pirates uniform, though. Brian Reynolds, on base percentage of 400 so far this season. That's pretty good. Bases are loaded with 2 outs. Everyone's going to be running. And Michael Soroka will get out of that as we go to the bottom of the first. And here comes Paul Skeens, who doesn't love watching Paul Skeens pitch? He is just fun, and I kind of like the Pirates. I really want to see them play well. They've been so bad for so long. I hope this is going to finally be a year where they can maybe sneak in the playoffs. I hope Skeens stays with the Pirates. I would love to see him be. I think I'd love to see the Pirates just have some success and keep some of their players instead of seeing them pitch, for the Mets or the Yankees in a few years, just to give an idea. And he is going to get a 1-2-3 inning. And Nick Gonzalez will lead off this inning. He's hitting 300 at the start of the year, off to a good start. And he will get a base hit there. Henry Davis, who I remember was a top draft pick just a few years ago. Was he the first pick, I think? Or at least a top 5 pick. And I know he hasn't really developed the way that they've wanted so far. But he does have power. And this is a player I'm not even familiar with, Billy Cook. So another good thing is you learn about players that you may not even be aware of. Connor Griffin will hit that and pop out. We will end the top of the second. Skeens will be back out there. And strike out Kendall Marte, off to a slow start this year. Gabriel Marino up next. And he will get a base hit. And again, I guess the only downside of this is, again, I don't think I would ever do a project with this. So you feel like, man, I'm playing this game, and it's just more for fun. Sometimes with projects, you feel like you're kind of building towards a longer legacy, and I guess that might be the downside here, is that you just kind of play it and forget about it. But again, for me, it's kind of fun to keep in the loop with what's going on in baseball right now. And we'll have runners on the corners. And see if Skeens can get out of this. He will. Strike 3. That's his 4th strikeouts. And we will now go to the top of the 3rd. Ryan O'Hearn will lead off. And he will ground out. O'Neal Cruz, who is a freak athletically, and that might get out of here. And it is. That's number 10 on the season for O'Neal Cruz. I'm sure Pirates fans are happy to see him playing a little better after a pretty disastrous hitting year last year. I think one of the out of the park's biggest strengths is that, I think I heard someone say it once, that maybe it was Beatles, basically saying that out of the park is like a baseball encyclopedia. And it is. Like, I could click on Marcell Acuna's name, just say, remind myself, how were his stats the last few years? And you're just kind of always can dive into history even during the game, which I love. Even this morning, I was looking up the 1950s just to see, kind of remind myself who won the World Series those years. This game is just, it's so great. It really is. There's been times where I feel like I'm just kind of over out in the park, It's so similar every year, but it's just such a great game. You can do anything. I was thinking later I might even start like a random debut league again. That's the best part, is you just have an idea. You're like, okay, let me do that real quick. And even if you play one game of that idea, it is so fun to just dive into something and kind of itch whatever you're thinking of. I can't tell you how many projects I've started with this game and only played one game and then deleted it, but it kind of got what I wanted to achieve or what I wanted to try out. So, and I love the 2D mode. Again, I know I'm minority. Everyone I see on YouTube still is playing primarily 3D, but this is how I like to play out of the park. And Nick Gonzalez up next. And he will hit that off the wall and get a double. Pirates with a 1-0 lead, and that will bring up Henry Davis. He'll fly out with Billy Cook coming up. And the boy wonder, Connor Griffin, who, again, awesome that Pirates got this kid and hope he just sticks with the team. I want to see the Pirates build like a young core. It'd be fun. And Michael Soroka will kind of get out of a sloppy mess to start the 4th. And Paul Skeens will go back out. And Gabriel Marino will get a stand-up double there to start the inning. Oof. He'll go to 3rd. And that's a base hit. They're going to tie this game up. And let's see here. First and second now, Skeens, I visit the mound. I don't know if it does anything at all. I would love to hear from an out-of-park creator that actually does anything on their end. But I am curious. So we will see. And it's 2-1, and Skeens is about to load the bases. Let's see if he can get out of this. Could use a big strikeout, and it's 0-2. Ugh. That's also staggered. He'll go to 2-1, and he got out of it. Double play, but Arizona does take a 2-1 lead. O'Neal Cruz will come up. Soroka at 91 pitches. Spencer Horwitz up now. And they did change pitchers. Here's what's interesting here. So they brought in Merrill Kelly, who is traditionally a starter. But has he relieved any games this year? Let's take a look. I think this counts in the day. So see, this is kind of the thing about, and look, he might have even pitched here pretty recently. I think he pitched the other day. So he should not be a relief pitcher. And this is exactly what I'm kind of talking about with the Live Start. It's not perfect. So you got to really be careful if you're looking to be completely realistic. Like he looks like he started the other day. There's no way they would bring him in relief here. But again, this is just for fun. But it's a perfect example of you kind of just use this for something fun to do today, than do a real serious project with. We're still gonna play, so let's see if Nick Gonzalez can get him out, but he won't. I'm surprised Merrill Kelly isn't exhausted yet. It's pretty old school to start a game 3 days ago and then become in relief a few days later. This is like the 1910s dead ball era. Oh, Kendall Marte will go to third. I'm sorry, Flair will go to third, and Skeens is in trouble again. So should I throw to first? Let's keep him close. And that's going to be a fast to Horwitz. Woo! Struggling for Skeens. That's the 10th pick for Arizona. It is now 3-1. Let's visit the mound again. Let's see if we can Skeens can get out of this. There you go. Just those mound visits. I knew they did something. Can he get another strikeout here? Weak ground ball. Hearn scoots it. Goes to Skeens count first. Ground out. I did get a run home. And it is now. Okay. So that'll probably end Skeens' outing. Believe with a 4-1 deficit. Merrill Kelly's still okay again. I don't know about that, but I think he'd be a lot more tired now in real life, but he would never be pitching either, so. Connor Griffin up next. He'll get a base hit, and a new pitcher for Arizona will be Taylor Clark. Let's try stealing again. See how this goes. And that'll be it. And we're going to bring a new pitcher in. It looks like we have some righties. So Santana's still the closer, I assume. Or they knocked him out? Okay. Not a lot. Mason Montgomery. Okay. Let's bring in Isaac Matson. Let's see what happens here. Okay. It's 1 out. 2 outs. 0 for 3. All right. And through the second there, that is going to be the end of the inning. 4-1 here, Arizona, as we go to the top of the 7th. And we'll have to keep an eye on the game tonight, how the real score is. Not that it really matters, but kind of fun. Ooh! Spencer Horwitz with a... Oh, I thought that might go. With 2D mode, I kind of... Sometimes I feel like I've gotten a little better with the... how fast the ball, on the screen travels and the sound where I think it might be out. So, but it's not always. And it's kind of like real baseball, I guess. All right, we got something going here. Nick Gonzalez will come up with First and second, but oh, a big error on Marino, and we had the bases loaded for Henry Davis, who probably hits. Looks like he hits lefties a little better, and he walks them. So it is 4-2. Billy Cook up next. Yeah, I'm gonna pinch hit here. Nah, not with the lefty. I might bring in Brandon Lau, but let's see if Billy Cook can get a big hit. I don't even know you, Billy, but you struck out here. That's now 4-2. And let's see what we can do next. Let's bring the lefty in. Mason Montgomery. Start with Carroll, and he'll stay in there. And that's a good start. Looks like Marte hits lefties even a little better. Oh, I thought he dropped the ball, but he got it. 2 outs. Gabriel Marino definitely hits lefties better. He'll get a base hit there, but we will try to still get out of this inning. Okay. So we go 4-2 here in the top of the 8th. Connor Griffin will lead off. 2 for 4 and another base hit. Now 3 for 5. Debating if I should steal or not. Let's not steal. And that's good because O'Hearn gets the walk. We have a Pittsburgh Pirate potential comeback brewing. Oof! And Neil Cruz will strike out. Let's see if Spencer Horwitz can get it done. He's got some pop. He will fly out to right field. And Big Bear, Big Bear, Marcell Ozuna. There's a couple Bear nicknames. I don't remember what it was. That's a big hit. Oh, I thought it was going out. But it was caught. It's 4-2 Arizona. Let's bring in a new pitcher. I'm going to bring in Soto. I know he's technically the closer here, but I think Santana's still the closer. Maybe I'm wrong. I haven't been following the Pirates. It looks like they both have the same amount of saves. Okay. Nolan Arenado. Okay, I was curious. He didn't start this game. It looks like he's playing a lot more in real life. He's bouncing back a little bit this year. 331 on base. That's much better than last season. Start the year. I always like when those journeymen, I don't even call him Arenado a journeyman because he's had a great career, but I like when towards the end of the career when they join with a random team. I know Evan Longoria played with the Diamondbacks. I think that year they went to the World Series, so it's always kind of fun to see. That's going to be not good for me. That's 5-2 now. And we will get our last at bat. Brian Reynolds, Paul Sewald. Is he the real closer in real life? He sure is. Okay. 7 saves. This is a lot of fun. Brian Reynolds. That's a base hit. Ooh, Nick Gonzalez. Did he get out? No. A couple near misses here. It's 1 out. We're going to pinch hit now. Because that's Brandon Lau this year. I know he started off hot with a few home runs. Yeah. So we're going to pinch hit him for Billy Cook. If you haven't played 2D mode in mod, I suggest you do it. I love the pace, and I still feel like you get the excitement of this game, and that's going to be gone. Yes. So Brandon Lau makes it 5-4. And look at this, our star rookie coming up here. Let's see if he can get on base. Oh, he does. Wow. Here we go. 2 outs. Ryan O'Hearn up next. That's Mike gonna probably up. It will get an infield single. So first and second for O'Neal Cruz. Come on. Good game. It was fun. And as always, with Out of the Park, when the game ends, gives you a great little write-up. Tells you the stats for the day. Skeens went 5, 10 hits, 6 Ks. ERA bounced up to 3.46. Merrill Kelly, who started 3 days ago, I believe, right? Wasn't that it? Yeah. Again, should not have been in there, but still fun. You just gotta forgive it with Live Start. I can't believe they're able to do this the way they can. It's so cool. If you want to play another game today, you can just bounce into one. Hmm. Anyway, wanted to show that off today, and look at the Rays, off to a great start this year. I know their pitching staff has been unbelievable. Kind of a fun team. I'm glad they're bouncing back a little bit too. But thanks for joining today. Just wanted to show this off. Definitely give it a shot. A shot is kind of fun to play with.